Number 1. Jack Whittaker. Mr. Whittaker, known as Jack, became an instant celebrity at 55 when he claimed what was then the largest lottery jackpot won by a single ticket in the United States. He opted for the lump sum payout of $113.4 million after taxes, and he flew off to New York with his family in a private jet to appear on network television morning shows, but he quickly fell victim to scandals, lawsuits, and personal setbacks as he endured constant requests for money, leaving him unable to trust others. He was often quoted as saying he wished he had torn up the ticket. His wife left him. A friend of his drug-addicted granddaughter was found dead at his home in 2004. 3 months later, his 17-year-old granddaughter was gone too. His daughter, Ginger Whittaker, Bragg, died of cancer in 2009 at 42. And in 2016, he lost a Virginia home to a fire. He struggled with drinking and gambling. His home and car were repeatedly burglarized. While he was at a strip club, thieves broke into his Lincoln Navigator and stole a briefcase stuffed with $245,000 and 3 $100,000 cashier's checks. That time, at least, he caught a break. The briefcase was later found, with the money still inside. Mr. Whittaker was charged twice with driving while under the influence and was sued repeatedly. Once by 3 female casino employees, who accused him of assault. In a 2007 interview with the Associated Press, Mr. Whittaker said he knew his legacy was already written. "I'm only going to be remembered as the lunatic who won the lottery," he said. "I'm not proud of that. I wanted to be remembered as someone who helped a lot of people." He also wished he had torn up the ticket. Number 2. A man who was described as extremely generous. After winning $30 million in the Florida lottery, was tragically murdered just after taking a huge payout. Abraham Shakespeare, 43, of age, won the massive prize in 2006 and chose to take a $17 million payout. By 2008, the lottery winner, from Lakeland, had spent most of his fortune. Around that time, he was befriended by Doris Moore, who convinced him she would write a book about his life story, but that never happened. Officials said the woman, who ended up becoming something of a financial advisor to Shakespeare, was just interested in his money. She told police Shakespeare gave her the cash as a gift, which she used to buy a Hummer, a Corvette, and a truck, as well as using it to fund a holiday. Shakespeare was last seen in April 2009, and while he was missing, his family hoped he had jetted off somewhere with his winnings to relax on a beach. However, on January 25, 2010, Shakespeare was found shot to death, buried under concrete in the back garden of a home previously bought by Moore. After the discovery, Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd branded Moore a con artist. The sheriff remarked, "Dee Moore has cheated Abraham Shakespeare out of his money, and possibly his life." In an interview a month later, Moore denied any wrongdoing, blaming drug dealers for Shakespeare's death. Number 3. A lottery winner who won a huge $20 million died in the most brutal of circumstances following an affair he became involved in. Jeffrey Dampier Jr. took home the massive jackpot back in 1996 after winning the Illinois State Lottery. But shortly after, Dampier divorced his wife at the time, giving her half of his $20 million winnings. He later remarried, but Dampier ended up having an affair with his sister-in-law. Following his divorce, Dampier relocated from Chicago's West Side to Tampa, Florida, and met Crystal Jackson, whom he went on to marry. He was generous with his money, especially with his new wife's family. Dampier even moved Jackson's sisters, Victoria and Terry, to Tampa, and, as they had no means of their own, the gourmet popcorn shop owner took care of their finances. But Dampier ending up having an affair with his wife's sister, Victoria, and apparently, Victoria's boyfriend, Nathaniel Jackson, soon found out. Rather than leave Victoria, he and his girlfriend plotted against Dampier, presumably in a bid to get his money. According to sources, in 2005, Dampier was lured to Victoria's apartment as she was claiming to be having car troubles. Upon his arrival, Dampier was tied up by Nathaniel, who threw him in the back of a van that was being driven by Victoria. Nathaniel is said to have repeatedly hit Dampier with a gun and demanded his money, but he didn't cooperate. As a result of this, Nathaniel turned to Victoria to try haggle with her other boyfriend and handed her the gun, reportedly. He then backed her into a corner and told Victoria, "Shoot him, or I'll shoot you." Victoria proceeded to shoot Dampier in the skull and was later found guilty of first-degree murder, armed kidnapping, and armed carjacking in 2006. She was handed 3 consecutive life sentences, with Nathaniel receiving a similar punishment.